so in love with you. You just hug me and give me warmth. It could took away my pain, and you let me feel so safe and peacefully calm. Dark run away, season cold again when you are around.
Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm reviewing the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, specifically the 72 set. These colored pencils are quite well known for their creamy cores, amazing blending, and overall good quality. So today we're going to be putting that all to the test, see if they are actually as good as everyone says they are, or if they're just not. So for the packaging, I'd say that it's pretty good. It has a nice and shiny finish on the back, and it also lists all the colors that you will find in this set. The back also has the claims of these pencils, which include artist quality color pencils for every level of expertise, high quality pigments for rich color saturation, and soft, thick cores create a smooth color laydown for excellent blending and shade. So we're going to be testing all of that in today's video. As I said before, this is the 72 set. On Amazon, it cost $56.04. But when I got these, they were on sale for $35.41. And according to the calculator on my phone, each pencil costs about 78 cents with the actual price. For these swatching, I just did some nice simple ones, nothing too complicated. I was basically just trying to get a feel for these colored pencils and their qualities. Right away, I noticed that these colored pencils were very well pigmented, and you could really tell that the colors were very saturated and that they were really bright on the page. I also noticed something a little bit strange. A lot of the colors were very creamy and buttery and had a very smooth texture, which is great, but some of the colors, like this neon light green and this very extremely bright yellow, were a little bit less creamy than the others, and it wasn't like much of a big difference. It was just kind of like, I don't know, it was a very small difference, but I could tell that they weren't as creamy as some of the other colored pencils. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it or why that is, but like 2 or 3 colored pencils were like this, so it really isn't that much of a big problem. So yeah. These colored pencils also had a very good color variety. I did some research and saw that almost all the colors from the skin tone set are included in this set, so you should definitely have enough skin tones if you are into portraits and that jazz. Onto the blending. For this, I did 2 different tests. One where I blended 2 similar colors, 2 blues, and one where I did a light and dark color. I have to say, these color pencils really do have creamy cores because they blended seamlessly. Blending the 2 similar colors were very easy, and the soft cores really do help with the blending and the overall layering process. Blending 2 different colors, especially a neon green with a dark green, should be very hard, and it usually takes a lot more effort to get a smooth blend, but for these colored pencils, it was actually a lot easier than I expected. Now, this doesn't mean that the colored pencils would do all the blending on your own. I still had to like layer the colors, and no matter what color pencils you have to like actually do some work to get them to blend, but I have to say it was a lot easier than some of the other color pencils that I've used in the past, so yeah. As for the layering, there really isn't much to say. When I was doing the blending test, I could always see that they were well layered and allowed me to build up the colors. So I just did some quick swatches and tested how well pigmented their white was and compared to a dark gray. I also used my Uni Ball Signo Jelly Roll pen to see how well I could add highlights. I think the smoother the color pencil surface are, the harder it is, and I'm not sure.
The tip just kept on rolling over and it didn't actually put down any ink until I pressed harder. So for the final test, aka illustration, I'm going to be attempting to draw the famous strawberry. I chose this piece because A, it is a very popular realism piece. There have probably been thousands of people who redrew this from the original picture. And I also chose this because there was detailed parts, like those small seeds in the strawberry, and there are also non-detailed parts that focus more on blending, like the chocolate. And so I was very curious to see how all these pencils were going to hold up in detail work, as you can't really get them very sharp. So I started with the easiest part, in my opinion, the chocolate. I chose this because there weren't any small details, but there was a lot of blending for the highlights and a lot of open space. Blending the chocolate was quite relaxing and enjoyable, probably the easiest part of this whole drawing, and I was able to make it really smooth and shiny. Then came the seeds. Honestly, I haven't had a very good experience with them in the past, so I wasn't very eager to go into this part of the piece, and I really wasn't feeling it that well because I knew that I would struggle with it. I think the main reason I didn't like doing them was because I wasn't actually patient enough to draw the details and the shading for every single seed. Did you know that the average strawberry has around 200 seeds? Anyways, I went through and I tried my best. So when I was doing the shadows for the seeds, it was painful. The pencils weren't able to get very sharp because they were so creamy with blood and everything, and it was very hard to get the shadows very crisp and the seeds very defined, so I did end up struggling a lot. Also, some of the colors kept on breaking, so whenever I sharpened them, the lead just broke again and again and again. Now, for this specific piece, the colors that I struggled with for this issue was this medium green and a very light brown, and no matter how much I sharpened them, they just broke, and I don't even know why, because the first time that I used them right out of the set, fresh out of the set, without sharpening, they worked fine. But then when I tried sharpening them, they just broke, and no matter how many times I did it, they kept on breaking, so I just left them and replaced them, and I used other colors instead of those, and I'm not sure why that happened, but yeah, that's it for now.
as we near the end of the video, I'm going to be listing the colored pencils pros and the cons, so you can decide for yourself which one is better. Let's start with the cons so we can end on a more positive note. So for the cons, they can't go into detail very well, and they are better used for shading in larger areas. They can't really get too sharp. Number 2, there is a lot of wax bloom. The more layers you add, the worse it gets. If you're someone who's fine with that, then it probably won't be a problem for you, but for me personally, I hate it. I despise it. So that is definitely one of the biggest cons that I have with these colored pencils. There was also quite a bit of breakage with these tips. It was only for specific colors that kept on breaking. So I'm not sure if it's just something with those specific colored pencils or if it's something with the whole set. Now on to the pros. First of all, they have an extremely buttery core. The buttery core is probably one of the main reasons why these colored pencils are so popular. It allows for a very smooth blend and layer them amazingly so that you can do complete photorealism with it, and I think that is so great. You can also get really great gradients with them, again with the layering. So I think that those are some very good things about these colored pencils. Hi again. So for my personal opinion, I'd say that the pros outweigh the cons. I would say that for the pricing, these colored pencils are definitely worth it. And if you're someone who wants to get into colored pencils, or you want to switch to a better brand than Crayola's or Crazy Art or something, then these will fit perfectly, perfectly for you. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you guys have any suggestions for a better video or better reviews or anything like that, then make sure to comment them down below. And as always, have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and peace out.